Well, it looks like, unless something special happens from here, Norwich City are going to be heading back to the Championship. A 1-0 defeat here to Everton tonight, which, with 7 games left, means that survival's looking pretty slim from this point onwards. We all knew the importance of the 2 home games, Southampton on Friday night, which was the 3-0 defeat, and then tonight the 1-0, which came thanks to a Michael Keane header in the 55th minute from a corner. Norwich had 8 men against 5 Everton players in the box. I made it in real time, and a Lucas Digne corner comes in. Keane towers over the Norwich defence, heads in powerfully, pretty unopposed. It was a bit of a sickening goal, really, but overall the performance was nowhere near as bad as Friday. It still wasn't brilliant, but there were signs of improvement. It's just at this stage of the season, behind closed doors or not, you can't really afford 2 home defeats on the bounce, especially to teams who are in the bottom half. You know, we're not talking about Manchester City and Tottenham, Arsenal, whoever here. We're talking about teams who are in mid-table. But I guess they have both played without too much pressure on their shoulders, both knowing that they're pretty much clear of relegation, whereas Norwich, it really is that pressure, that tension, which is holding them back now, and their confidence has just gone, really. It's sad to watch, but I don't think anyone can level a lack of effort at them tonight. There was definite improvements, there was more intensity, more organisation, more desire, or more obvious desire, should we say. Daniel Farke made 4 changes, and I think in the first half it was okay. It was certainly, the game was a contest. That was the main thing. Everton haven't come away from here tonight with an easy win. They've had to work hard for it, and they had to do plenty of defending as well. Norwich put them under a fair bit of pressure. But those 4 changes, Timu Pukki, Emi Buendia, Todd Cantwell and Tom Tribal, they all came out of the team from that Southampton game. Josip Drmic, Andre Duda, Lucas Rupp and Onel Hernandez all came in. Hernandez was bright in the first half. Of course, he's just back from a knee injury, which would have ended his season had the campaign not been suspended. He was good for certainly the first half, but then he looked pretty tired after the break. Rupp had the 1 shot on target of the game. He tested Jordan Pickford with a driving shot late in the first half. Drmic was scrappy, he was a nuisance. There was definitely a more concerted attempt to play longer balls, play a little bit more direct to him, and I still don't really think that's his game, but he put himself about, but again his touch wasn't good enough to really take advantage of any of the chances that came his way. And Duda in the first half I thought was quite bright, had some nice touches here and there, but his set pieces really let him down. And by the time he came off the pitch, he'd sort of lost his way a little bit, and certainly doing the live updates at Pinken.com, that most people who were watching from home were saying that he was one of the players that needed to come off the pitch. Hernandez did have a shot tipped onto the post by Jordan Pickford in the first half as well. I think it was pretty safe, it was going just wide, but Pickford made sure. So that was 2 half-decent opportunities. No changes at the break for Norwich. Gylfi Sigurdsson did replace Tom Davies at half-time for Everton, and I think that did improve them a bit in the second half, because Davies was not having the best of nights. But, as I say, that corner was the moment which defined this game, and from that point on Norwich tried to change things. Daniel Farke reacted, because immediately after the goal I was worried it was going to be just like Southampton, and there was going to be sort of sulking, heads down, and they were going to sort of lose the faith. And Krul did need to tip over 1 good shot from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. There were other sort of half chances for Everton. Farke reacted in the 71st minute when he brought on Pukki and Buendia for Duda and Rupp. But with Everton rolling through subs as well, I think really the game was just being broken up from there. There was no huge chances. Ben Godfrey did fire one just wide of the post, which was a decent effort, but most of the time it was Everton just sitting deep, scrambling everything clear. Buendia's set pieces were a bit better than Duda when he came on, but not a huge improvement. Vrancic and Ida came on for Teti and Onel Hernandez. Teti was it was Teti that came into the lineup, not Drmic, as I said earlier. Teti did add more stability, as you expect. There was more defensive structure. He was in the right place at the right time. So he should have been starting on Friday. I don't really know what that decision was, to play Tom Tribal as a defensive midfielder, because it backfired really. But 46% of possession for Norwich, 9 shots to Everton's 12, 5 of those on target for Everton, and just that Lucas Rupp shot on target for Norwich. 5 defeats and 6 overall now. Still just 2 goals in open play in 2020. It's not good in any way you look at it. The teams around them are sort of keeping them hanging on a little bit. Villa got a point at Newcastle tonight, but Bournemouth and West Ham have both lost in midweek. Watford play Thursday. So as things stand, they're still 6 points adrift of Villa, Bournemouth and West Ham with those 7 games to play. So it is mathematically still possible, but the next game is away to Arsenal. So you don't expect to get anything from that really, although they obviously haven't gone into the restart particularly well. But I think on the back of 2 defeats, most people are preparing themselves for the Championship now, and given that we're having to persevere with behind closed doors and this horrible atmosphere and just not football the way it's supposed to be, I dare say that quite a lot of people are going to lose interest in the end to this season at this rate, and it's going to be difficult for Farke and Webber and the whole club to pull together and find some sort of positivity to hold on to just to get to the end of the season and start what's then sort of a bit of a rebuild. There's going to be a lot of churn in the squad potentially, and who knows, it's going to be a really, really strange time, quite turbulent time possibly, and there's only so much that you can start planning for the future if you are heading down. You can't just start playing the kids totally and ending up getting heavy defeats away to the big clubs. They go to Chelsea as well, Manchester City. So this is a real challenge for Daniel, a real challenge for the whole squad to somehow keep going and try to hold on to some belief that they can turn this round. But at least there is a little bit of respite. Saturday, FA Cup quarter-final here again against Manchester United, 3rd home game in a row. And I don't know, I feel a bit conflicted about that one, to be honest. Of course you want Norwich to win. That might just help give them a bit more confidence to breathe back into this attempt at a miracle, which is now a big miracle. But I have to say, I think if Norwich were in an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley without fans, I think that's gonna get people down more than get people excited, because they're going to be missing out on a big day out, let alone if they get to the final. I don't know if I'd want to be the team winning the FA Cup behind closed doors, but that's probably a conversation for another day. So, in isolation, a better performance than Friday night, but not enough. Things are looking very bleak from here. Carrow Road tidying up for the night. The BBC TV trucks, Norwich Live on BBC for the first time certainly in the top flight for a long time, but they haven't been able to live up to the cameras. We're still waiting for that first goal of the restart, and frankly it didn't look like it was going to come tonight. We'll leave it there. It's not been the best of nights. Thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you very soon.